Have you ever wondered if the little things you do to heal yourself could one day save your life? This is the incredible true story of Maya, and how a simple scarf became her shield. Maya had finally done it. After 2 long years, she walked away from a relationship that was suffocating her. She left Adrian, her controlling ex, and the tiny apartment that had become her prison. It was a terrifying step, but it was the first breath of fresh air she'd had in what felt like a lifetime. To protect her newfound freedom, she blocked his number, changed her daily routine, and made sure her friends knew her new address was a secret. She was starting over, determined to rebuild her life from scratch. But Adrian didn't see it as a breakup. In his mind, she belonged to him. He was convinced she would come crawling back. He couldn't accept that she was gone for good. Meanwhile, Maya was rediscovering herself. She found a small, cozy art studio in her new town and began to pour her heart into creating beautiful scarves and shawls. She worked with soft wool threads, choosing colors that felt like peace and happiness: bright yellows, calm blues, and warm greens. Each stitch, each loop of yarn, felt like a step toward healing. It was more than just a hobby, it was therapy. She started selling her creations at local weekend markets and opened an online shop. For the first time, she felt a sense of purpose and joy that had been stolen from her. But the past has a way of creeping back in. Adrian hadn't let go. He started stalking her. His dark car would be parked just down the street from her art studio. Messages from unknown numbers would flash on her phone, chilling her to the bone. "I know where you are, Sue." He was a shadow she couldn't shake, a constant silent threat, lurking just out of sight. Every time she saw a car that looked like his, her heart would pound in her chest. The fear was a cold knot in her stomach that never went away. She did the right thing. She went to the police, but without any physical evidence of a threat, their hands were tied. They offered her advice, told her to stay vigilant and be safe. But a warning doesn't build a wall. Fear, she learned, is often much faster than protection. One evening, as winter's chill began to bite, Maya was closing up the art studio. It was late, and the streets were quiet. Before heading out, she wrapped one of her newest creations around her neck. It was a thick, beautiful scarf, triple-layered with strong, tightly woven yarn to keep out the cold. She loved the feeling of its weight and warmth against her skin. As she walked toward the bus stop, the familiar sound of footsteps echoed behind her. Her breath caught in her throat. She spun around, and her worst fear materialized. It was Adrian. His eyes weren't filled with the loud, explosive anger she remembered. This was something far worse: a cold, quiet rage that promised violence. Quiet anger, she knew, is always the most dangerous. "You think you can just leave me?" he hissed, his voice low and menacing. "You think you can have a life without me?" Panic seized her. Maya tried to turn and run, but he was too fast. He lunged, grabbing her arm. In his other hand, she saw the glint of metal, a sharp blade. In a swift, horrific motion, he slashed at her throat. She felt the impact, the force of the strike against her neck. But it wasn't the sharp, tearing pain she expected. Instead, the blade hit the thick, dense layers of her handmade scarf. The tightly woven fabric absorbed the cut, snagging the knife for a fraction of a second. It wasn't much, but it was enough. That tiny moment of resistance, that small delay created by her own handiwork, gave Maya the one thing she needed: a second. In that second, she screamed, a raw, piercing scream that shattered the night's silence. Heads turned, people on the street stopped and stared. Someone's voice yelled, "Hey!" Another person was already dialing 911. The world, which had felt so empty and isolating just moments before, was suddenly full of witnesses. Adrian panicked. The plan, whatever it was, had gone wrong. He tried to flee, to disappear back into the shadows. But this time, the crowd didn't just watch. 2 men sprinted toward him, tackling him to the ground before he could reach his car. The wail of sirens grew closer, and within minutes the police were there, cuffing him and taking him away for good. At the hospital, the doctors carefully cut away the damaged scarf. Underneath there was a shallow cut, a red line on her skin, just inches away from her carotid artery. The doctor looked at her, then at the scarf, and said, "If you weren't wearing this, You would have been gone in seconds. Maya stared at the scarf, her scarf, now held as evidence. It was almost unbelievable. The very art that had helped her heal her broken spirit had physically saved her life. Tors. The threads she had woven together to find peace had become her armor. She had saved herself without even realizing it. Today, Maya's art business is thriving. But she's also found a new purpose. She has become a powerful advocate for women escaping violent relationships. She shares her story, teaching others to trust their gut instincts, to take every threat seriously, and to never ignore the small warning signs that something is wrong. And every single time she tells her story, she finishes with the same powerful words. I learned that freedom is unjust given to you it is fought for. And sometimes, the smallest thing you create with your own hands can become the very shield that saves your future. Thank you for watching Maya's story. If you or someone you know is in a dangerous situation, please know that help is available. We'll leave resources in the description below. If this story moved you, please give it a like and subscribe for more content that inspires and empowers. Stay safe and take care.